Hey there, this is John for another episode of Storytime Chapter 1. The day started out like any other for 23-year-old college student, Sarah. She woke up to her alarm blaring on her phone, groggily swiping the screen to silence it. After getting dressed, she grabbed her backpack and headed out the door of her apartment, ready for another day of classes. As she walked to campus, Sarah noticed a man following her. At first, she thought it was just a coincidence. But as she turned down another street, she realized he was still behind her. Her heart raced as she quickened her pace, trying to shake him off. But no matter where she went, he seemed to be one step behind her. Sarah's mind raced as she tried to come up with a plan. She thought about calling the police, but she didn't want to make a scene. She thought about running, but she didn't want to make herself an easy target. As she turned another corner, Sarah saw a group of people ahead of her. Relief flooded through her as she ran towards them, hoping to lose the man in the crowd. But as she reached the group, she felt a hand grab her shoulder. She turned around and saw the man's face for the first time. He was young and handsome, with piercing blue eyes and a charming smile. "Hey, sorry to startle you," he said, his voice smooth and calming. "I just wanted to say hi. I noticed you walking alone and thought I'd introduce myself." Sarah's guard went up as she backed away from him. "I'm not interested," she said firmly. "Please leave me alone." The man's smile faltered for a moment, but he quickly recovered. "No problem, I understand. Have a nice day," he said before walking away. Sarah's heart was still pounding as she continued to campus, relieved to be away from the man. But something about him made her uneasy, and she couldn't shake the feeling that he was still watching her. Chapter 2. Sarah's unease only grew over the next few days. Everywhere she went, she felt like someone was watching her. She started to second-guess herself, wondering if she was just being paranoid. But one day, as she was leaving her last class of the day, she saw the man again. He was standing by the exit, watching her with his piercing blue eyes. Sarah's heart raced as she tried to keep calm. She walked past him, trying to ignore him, but he followed her out of the building. "Hey, can we talk for a minute?" he said, his voice calm and friendly. Sarah turned around, ready to tell him off, but something in his eyes made her pause. She could see the sincerity in his gaze, and she realized that maybe she had misjudged him. They talked for a few minutes, and Sarah found herself enjoying the conversation. The man, whose name was Jack, was charming and intelligent, and they had a lot in common. As they walked towards Sarah's apartment, Jack asked if she wanted to grab dinner, but the feeling of unease was still there, lingering in the back of her mind. "Sorry, I can't tonight," she said, trying to sound polite. "Maybe another time." Jack nodded, disappointment evident in his eyes. "Sure, no problem. I'll see you around campus." Sarah watched him walk away, feeling a mix of relief and guilt. Maybe she had misjudged him after all. Chapter 3. The next few weeks passed by without incident. Sarah focused on her studies and tried to forget about Jack. But one night, as she was walking home from the library, she saw him again.